We got another cool episode for you guys today. This one is a video game episode that we have for you guys today. One of the video games that I'm super excited for coming out is GTA 6, which I believe will be coming out early next year. I'm super stoked for this one, as I've been a huge fan of the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Definitely looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6 when it's officially released. Hopefully at some point next year.
You heard April 1st.
Favorite games, we'll start there. When is that Star Wars Outlaws? I'm definitely excited for Star Wars Outlaws. It looks really cool. It looks like a different take on Star Wars. I'm definitely intrigued to try it. Some of my favorite games growing up are the original Street Fighter game, Mortal Kombat, the original Doom that they had on the PC when it was a long time ago, and I sound really old because it was floppy disk. And I remember when I had it, there was 6 floppy disks that you had to install it onto the computer before you can play the game, which was a lot to play the game for the short amount of time that it took me to beat it. But Doom is still obviously one of my all-time favorite games. Wolfenstein as well, Dead Space, the original and the remaster I think were both very good. A couple honorable mentions for me will be Outlast, because I really enjoyed the Outlast series. It was super scary, it was super fun. Definitely enjoyed the Outlast series for sure for me. The Sonic series, of course, growing up, everybody loved Sonic. Sonic was a great game. Pac-Man was a great game for a lot of us growing up. Donkey Kong, Super Mario Brothers 3, 2, 1, all the good ones. Nightmare on Elm Street for the original Nintendo. The Friday the 13th game for the original Nintendo. And I'll let my buddy here tell you about his favorite games.
Well, you kind of figured from the last thing. I love superheroes, so mine are the Manhattan Project of the Turtles. I also like the Mad Time Party. That's the PS5 gadget game, first game I ever played. Super Nintendo's Mario Kart, another game I really loved as a kid. X-Men Origin Wolverine, I played that game pretty heavily. The Royal Rumble, WWF, now it's E. The Lion King for Super Nintendo, I love that game to death. Toy Story for Sega Genesis, forgot that one. Super Mario 3, and the Batman Arkham series. And other ones, Red Dead Redemption, were probably some of my favorite games, rated M, surprisingly. Captain America, the First Avenger was another game I really liked. Power Rangers for the Sega Genesis, and Batman for Super Nintendo, the first movie game. We'll skip Prey. I don't know what's about that. That's everything that was supposed to. It's all rambled what I found, so we'll skip that.
Yeah, right.
Fight Forever. We'll both tackle this. I don't need my phone for this. If you guys are looking for a wrestling game, I would not recommend. I'm saying this for AEW Fight Forever for 2 big reasons. One, false advertisement, and the transparency during launch. When it first launched, it had stated that it was going to be free updates for roster, match types, etc., arenas, attires. I said wrestlers, didn't I? Yes, wrestlers. And no, when my friend and I got the game, it was the Elite Edition. It had the season pass, but it was never mentioned. We were basically false into buying the Elite Edition. That was supposed to get everything. But after the Elite Edition, after 2, it's basically Call of Duty meets wrestling, what that was, because they had the Battle Pass, technically, what they have, the Season Pass. And it basically was Season 1. We got Season 1. We didn't get 2 or 3 was a whole different game. They brought an edition now, I forget what it was called. And then just, 2 days ago now?
I think so, yeah, about 2.
About 2 days ago, they brought out the Ultimate Edition. So they basically told the people who bought the regular edition and the Elite Edition, no, guys, you don't get all the DLC. You got to buy this $99, so 112 Canadian. For American, I'm not sure if it's the same. I guess Kenny Mom's American, so our buddy Kenny Mom has said it's 99 also in the States. You're basically getting everything, but that was never the first to mention. And the worst part is, with everything, you don't get everything. You don't get Owen Hart, and you don't get Paul White. You got to unlock them. It's a tedious task in the game. AEW should come out and apologize for the tedious task on that. I think for me personally, no new match types, and 12 wrestlers. You get 1 wrestler pack, or maybe 2 with the Acclaimed. But if you're an AEW fan, I would not recommend this game. I'd wait to see what Tony Khan wants for the sequel and hold off. The only positive, my friend can say the same thing, was the gameplay. It was pick up and easy, and the blood was really wrestling best way of putting it. So I wouldn't recommend it, but that's just me. For wrestling games, I would wait for the wrestling code because I think they've been more transparent as slow as they have been. But they're telling us that the DLC is going to be,
Welcome to the channel, or who's ever watching. Welcome.
The wrestling code did it right. They say, hey, if you're going to see WWE superstar, WWE gets the money for that superstar being used. Same with AEW, same with TNA, Major League Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom. I don't know about GCW. I don't know if anybody from that company's in the game as of yet.
I don't think yet.
But again, any game company you guys like or what we like, I'd rather hopefully, if they do see this, be more transparent with the buyer. Makes sense? With the customer, sorry, and be more transparent. Don't screw the gamer out of money thinking I've got the be-all end-all version of that said game, and to find out down the road, oh, here's the be-all end-all, which again, going back to AEW Fight Forever, it wasn't. And that sucks because when me and my friend and our kids were almost 40, we're 2 years in a year from 40, we never had that with kids. When we got the game, we got the game. Or if there was anything coming to the game, we would unlock it. I think we got to go back to that. And you've got to make easy. That's another thing with any game. Make easy for everyone because you don't want a kid cursing like a sailor, getting angry at his game because the developer said, nah, we're going to make this impossible. Some of the best game series for me, I'll name a couple, is the Kingdom Hearts series. Thinking of easy. Wasn't easy, but I finally beat it. Uncharted, the Tomb Raider, Spider-Man, because I'm a big superhero fan. The Arkham games. Marvel vs. Capcom was another one. I really liked the series. I thought that was great. Doom. I think I agree with that. Doom was good. I'm just going to show my friend. You see my friend here. Doom was great. I'm kind of horror. It's shocking. Another series that was great that I think he can agree with, the Wolfenstein franchise.
Wolfenstein was good.
Sucks that we're not getting it, obviously. Well, sorry, I will phrase my sentence. We are getting it again because everything Xbox is coming out will start as their exclusives, and we are getting it. Another series for me was
The Darkness was a really good one.
I never played it, so I can't. So there you go.
The Darkness was really good. It was on PS3, I think, and I believe it was a PS3 game. But The Darkness was really cool. Be interesting to see them bring it back because I really enjoyed The Darkness. It was such a fun game.
There was another one. It was a trilogy series you liked, but Until Dawn, but not that. But you know what I mean.
Oh yes, the Until Dawn, the Supermassive games when they had the Man of Medan, which I think was one of the first ones. And then they had, I can't remember the other two.
Yeah, that series.
That series has been fantastic. It's been one of their better ones. They got a new one coming out, but I forget what the name of that one is.
So, as we're talking about, we kind of skipped something that was kind of funny.
What's that?
We skipped the best movies.
Oh, the best movie games. Okay.
The best movies that were based on the games that I put. Uncharted with Tom Holland. I think that was spectacular. I know my friend here thinks they what he has said, they put 1, 2, and 3, all 3 games clumped into one game. Movie. I'm sorry, I'm screwing up. I'm age here. I enjoyed it for what it was. Another one I put in was Detective Pikachu. I know nothing about the game, and obviously Pokemon. Pokemon 2000, another movie I'll mention. That was great as well, but Detective Pikachu was my favorite because I love live action, and I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen it. It is family friendly, so kids of all ages can see it if they want to. It's parents' discretion. Another one for us was Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 after they fixed Sonic. That was another great one. Five Nights at Freddy's. Wouldn't you agree?
Five Nights at Freddy's was actually surprisingly really well done. What's his name there? Matthew Lillard did an amazing job in that movie. He was really good in that one. Josh Hutcherson was fantastic. The story was good. I'm interested to see where they take the second one. Resident Evil, of course, was a great video game adaptation into a movie.
So would you say the best one was Raccoon City of that franchise?
Yeah, that's where it kind of got a little iffy because they kind of mixed too much into it. There was like too many different games, but Raccoon City was not bad. The Resident Evil franchise on its own is like probably one of the best franchises that they came out with, video game wise.
Another one for me is another movie I really liked that's based on the game was Pixels. Adam Sandler. It's great. Very nostalgic. It has like, I'm not going to spoil anything, blah, blah, blah. Well, another one that's everyone can see, and I loved it because it brought me back to Me and my friend going to the arcade and playing games. Yes, that's how old we are. Another one for me was Ratchet and Clank. I finally saw the movie last night. It's so good. It's shouldn't be, but it was well done for the game series. It's one of my favorite games, video game franchises too. Another one I put on was Tomb Raider. I love the game series and I love the movies with Jolie and the new one with I kind of think some of the worst, but everyone would agree in this. I don't like this. The one of the worst is Mortal Kombat from 1994. It ages not good. It's one of the ones that I would recommend if you want to try it, go for it. But I'd recommend more the remake, the new one. It's a lot better. It shows. Another one that was bad was Doom with Dwayne Johnson.
True.
Another one, Street Fighter with John. How do you say his name?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Thank you.
JCVD is for sure.
Double Dragon. They tried. It just didn't go anywhere. I've seen. I own it sadly, and I own Wing Commander. It's got the guy from Scooby Doo and wanted to make his own wrestling company. Freddie Prinze Jr. Another thing we can talk about.
The Mario one kind of failed the original one.
Oh, I love that one to death. It's Mario 1994. Go for it if you want to watch it. It doesn't age well, but if you want to see a good one, the Super Mario Bros. Movie animated one, A French Kiss. It's so good.
The animated one was actually really good. Chris Pratt was amazing as Mario for sure.
What else could we talk? Game was there's a game. Trying to think.
We'll get into the Warner stuff in a second.
Oh, that stuff. Clone Art. What would you give it? A quick little review on that since you played it. And
A little review of Clown Art, which is a brand new horror game that just came out for the PS5. It's been out recently for the PC long before it came out for the PS5. Overall, it's not bad. It's not overly scary. It had its issues where like you get stuck at points and you'd have to kind of reset the game. Keys wouldn't work going into doors. Weapons would go through doors. Kind of like the glitchy madness that it kind of came about. You got 1 million trophies for opening up doors, finding keys, and eventually escaping through one level, and that was it. The easiest platinum I've ever done in a video game was that. I platinumed it in literally like 2 or 3 days. It was so easy to platinum. I'd give it like a 4, 3.5, 4. Not the best. The glitches really took it away from me with the glitchiness and the issues like that with the gameplay. It was really bad that way.
We're going to talk on... sorry, so I'm seeing I'm going to move it to me. I'll quickly talk on... You can take the Suicide Squad, I'll take the Avengers. Warner Brothers and games and the Marvel games kind of took a big whammy. 200 million lost. I'll talk about the Avengers. Very fun game. But again, I'm going back to... I'm going to sound like a broken record. The one that spins. Please stop making online service games. They don't work. And people want to be able to come to their friend's house or their family member's house to game. They don't want to be stuck online because online service games failed and Avengers did. There is another one, but I'll let my friend get to that in a minute. Avengers, great concept. I'm not going to spoil anything again if you want to try it, but don't. The online might kick you in the backside sometimes. It was repetitive, which is not fun. Glitchy, actually not at all. But again, Marvel and Disney lost 200 million on the Avengers, and that's unacceptable. And the great franchise. I'm a big Marvel fan, and I'm a superhero nut job. But no, I think live service games should not be something to continue. Give us back what we grew up on as kids, and let these kids see what we grew up on, where cheat codes, if we needed them, unlocking stuff. Make it fun again is what I'm saying. And online service doesn't work. Now I'm going to go to my friend, and he'll talk about the other game for the other company that kind of got in the same amount of money.
The other game that we're going to talk about here is the lovely and talented Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. And it also lost $200 million. It was probably one of the biggest losses for Warner as they brought it out. Originally, when it launched out in the gaming system, it was bricked, meaning that you could not play the game, and there were certain points of the game that broke the game, that you couldn't play it. And it was bricked at launch, which eventually they fixed that, eventually. I ended up getting the game later on. The story arc, I'll start there. The story arc was actually not bad. I kind of like the way that the story arc was written. I enjoyed Kevin Conroy's performance as Batman. I thought that was really entertaining. I liked Harley Quinn. I really got to know the characters and got to like the characters like King Shark, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley. Batman, and a couple cool little Easter egg with some of the villains from the Arkham series, as you got Penguin in there as well. Poison Ivy, but a younger version of Poison Ivy. Eventually, they brought in the Joker. I haven't played anything with the Joker yet. That was the good part of the game. The bad part of the game for me, it had to be the gameplay. I did not enjoy the gameplay, as I thought the gameplay was going to be more set towards like the Arkham style of gameplay, which a lot of us fans really enjoyed the Arkham style games, and that's kind of what I was hoping that they would have brought to us, was the Arkham side of the gaming world. But they basically took what they got for Avengers, and they give us the Avengers style gameplay on an Arkham style kind of game, which just did not really work. I didn't experience too many glitches. I know at one point it wasn't really leveling up. It was kind of not working there, but eventually they fixed that. They fixed a few of the other issues with the game. But the main problem with that game, and I find it was probably the thing that killed it the most for me, was the repetitiveness. You did a lot of these missions, but a lot of the missions that you did throughout the entire game were basically the exact same things over and 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 over again, which kind of really killed it for me, because there wasn't really a lot to do outside of doing the exact same stuff 100 times over to get rewarded with small minimum rewards, like a couple new weapons, couple character skins. A lot of the skins you had to buy separately, so I can kind of see why they lost a lot of money, and having it being online only service game is kind of what killed that as well. I know a lot of these companies are big on doing these. I.e., a good example of that one is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which is strictly online only, asymmetrical horror games. Now, while I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a franchise, I kind of wish they did something different with the game. I didn't hate the fact that it was 4-on-4, or 4-on-3, I think it was. I think it's 4-on-3 or something like that. Like, I didn't hate that aspect of it, but me and my buddy experienced a lot of times in that game too that a lot of people were playing it and quitting halfway through, which ended up costing you the matches. Eventually, I think some of that got fixed. I haven't really touched it since. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is another one that looked really good. I just don't trust Gun Media. They were the ones that did the F-13 game.
F-13, Texas Chainsaw, Killer Clowns, Ghostbusters.
I just don't trust them. I mean, they bricked the Ghostbusters game. I mean, it was broken at points. Didn't work properly. Nightmare ran into a whole bunch of issues, obviously online, with people glitching through different things that were eventually fixed, that eventually they pulled the plug on that. For me, Friday the 13th will always be their best game, for me personally, because I enjoyed that. I thought that was a very well done game. It was sad that we didn't get the Uber Jason. That kind of was really disheartening that we didn't get it.
Yeah, and being shown.
But it was cool that we had the virtual cabin. I like that. That aspect of the games I really enjoy. I wish to kind of get more of that into the gaming world. The single player concept and the virtual cabin kind of stuff and stuff like that, I think.
True. So I'm going to turn back to myself quickly. Now, people who are watching, if there's any games we're PlayStation 5, so you got to make sure if you want to recommend any game for us to try, we'll try anything. We will give any game a try, no matter what, but make sure it's something that we can get in our system, because, if it's N64, I do have the Nintendo 64 still, believe it or not.
Jesus.
So if there's any games you guys want us to try, we're awesome, or any movie game that you like and you think we would like, we're more than happy to try it and see what we think. More the merrier. And video games is a big part of our lives. Like we grew up playing video games, from like the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Sega Saturn, the Sega CD, to Nintendo 64, to PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, Xbox 360, Xbox Series system, to PC. So we played everything. We're big gamers. We're, as you saw last night, if you watch us, we're big horror fans, superhero fans. We're big wrestling fans. And as my friend would love this channel to at least get up to 60 to 100 subscribers. Thank you for everything, you guys. I'm going to say this, for subscribing, and when you do, it means a lot to both of us. So when you see these videos, let us know how we did, and give us ideas. We'll even do videos on ideas from you guys. Again, a big thank you from both of us for everyone who's liked, subscribed, and left a comment. We really appreciate it, and it means a lot to both of us. This is something, a passion project that's going somewhere finally. And like I said, everything's, I'm going to use Matthew McConaughey's catchphrase today, but this channel is going all right, all right, all right.
And we're back. And no. So if you guys are big wrestling fans, you guys are 2K fans, the first DLC pack drops next week. I believe it's next Wednesday, the 15th.
5 days.
5 days away from the first DLC pack from WWE 2K24. This one, I am super stoked for. It's probably one of my favorite packs that they're doing. We get the likes of the legendary Terry Funk. May he rest in peace. One of the greatest to ever do it. We get the legendary Dudley Boys. We get the Sandman. And for the first time in a long time, we get CM Punk back in a wrestling game. CM Punk makes his debut, guys, in 5 days for WWE 2K24. And you know that I am going to be streaming some matches with CM Punk on this channel. So if you guys like CM Punk, you're interested to see how he does in the video game, definitely excited. He's a 90 overall in the game, which is awesome. He's higher rated than Drew McIntyre, and I don't think Drew McIntyre is going to like that too much. Another game that we could talk, Judas, which is coming out, which actually reminds me a lot of the BioShock games, which is another game that I really enjoyed as a franchise, especially from 2K, was the BioShock franchise. The first 3 games were absolutely amazing. Judas has kind of that BioShock feel to it, so I'm definitely excited to try it, to see what it's all about. I think next month we got the Jurassic Park collection is coming out for us. All the original Jurassic Park games coming to the PS5, and I believe Xbox as well, so that'll be really cool. Anything else game-wise you want to touch on?
Not for me.
I think we touched on all of it, I believe.
There we go.
If there's any movies that you guys want to recommend, we'll definitely be favored to check them out at some point. You guys can check out our video on here on Abigail. We did a review on Abigail, what we thought of the movie. You can check that out on the page. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it, especially if you're big fans of Melissa Barrera. Her acting is absolutely amazing in that movie. Giancarlo Esposito was great in there. Dan Stevens, amazing in that movie as well. So if you haven't checked out Abigail, definitely check out Abigail, guys. It is definitely worth it.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're going to wrap this one up because we got another cool taste test video coming up for you guys. We got Pepsi Cherry. And you know that we got to do the taste test video for you guys. So thank you guys so much for everybody who subscribed so far. We're at 53 subscribers on the road to 60. So thank you guys for all subscribing and enjoying the channel. If you guys have any tips or tricks to make the channel better, definitely let us know, and we'll be glad to take any comments, and we'll work with it. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next one.